Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Did Rhaenyra just name someone the Mistress of Whispers? That's it. I don't care what else she does in this show. She is now in charge of giving people their titles. Hello, everyone. Terrence here with Hollywood Already Did It. If you haven't already, go ahead, like, share, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, ring that bell below. Anytime we have something, you will be among the first to know. The third episode of House of the Dragon Season 3 is here. It is called Rhaenyra Triumphant. And boy, is she not. This episode is spent to give sort of a POV of what happens when your first day in office. Like if the people before you, your predecessors, just ran everything to shit. That's what this episode's about. Before we get into that, for the first time since episode 1, I believe, we have a cold open to this episode, which I'll say specifically why they do that in a moment. But it opens with us looking at Ormond Hightower. He has his army behind him, and he is reluctantly giving up his fealty to Rhaenyra and Daemon. Daemon is there present with dragons behind him. Daemon is being smug as he could ever be, because he knows he has the upper hand in this moment. Ormond takes a knee and tells his army to disband, and Daemon believes he's got the one up. We learn that he doesn't, but he believes he has the one up on him. But in that, Daemon also asks for Alicent's youngest, Daeron Targaryen, to be taken and held hostage. And so Ormond goes and calls for a boy and says, all right, unfortunately, you got to go with him. And so he does. The one thing that I will say is a bit interesting in this moment, and it's not clear, Daemon doesn't take the dragon that Daeron also is betrothed to. Now, again, in this moment, you're not going to have him ride the dragon because you don't want to start anything and have a dragon war sort of take place here. I get it. But the fact that he didn't have the dragon come along is odd to me. But neither here nor there. Then we get the credit sequence, which is the first time that that's happened in quite some time. Now, I think that happens because the rest of the episode is literally a Rhaenyra POV. Like, everything is from her. And this one shot doesn't involve Rhaenyra. So it's the one thing that's like, all right, we got to do this shot, break it, and then for the rest of this episode, we're looking at Rhaenyra's POV. For everything is with her. There's not a shot that does not have Emma playing Rhaenyra in that post title card. We even get some stuff where we literally just are watching her go from a meeting to bed to waking up to going back to a meeting. Like, it's literally just feeling claustrophobic in this newfound role that she has sort of been. She feels like she's been betrothed to, and that her father has always said she's supposed to be a part of. In this, her first day of business, she is trying to figure out what's up and what's down. And she is seeing that everything has been sent to crap. Specifically, they have no money. All the money, Lars and whatnot had sort of shipped that out. And so there's no gold there. Their treasury is depleted. And so they are trying to figure out how to do things. Rhaenyra's mind is like, hey, we need to get a ceremony going because we need to make this legitimate. And everybody else is like, I don't know if we should do a ceremony quite yet. One, we don't have the money, but two, it's going to seem a type of way if we start celebrating and spending a lot of money on a parade and coronation when these people can't eat. So we might want to level off on the party and the celebration. Rhaenyra also makes a decision, and this may come to bite her in the butt. She decides to not bring her council back from Dragonstone. She feels like they betrayed her there, and she's like, I don't want them there. We're just going to start anew. Which means currently, right now, she doesn't really have a council. Like, she's having a rough time with what she's got left. She's got Daemon, she's got Corlys, and she's got her mistress. What we'll call her from this point on, the Mistress of Whispers. And that's kind of all she has, which probably isn't for the best. In the meantime, though, until we can figure out what's happening with the goal that has been put out, Rhaenyra asks, hey, go ask the houses that are under our watch, under our kingdom, to provide a tribute. That'll at least help us to build up some type of treasury to at least make amends and figure out what the hell we need to do. And she's also learned in that moment that Aemon has escaped and is no longer in Harrenhal. Can't find him, don't know where he's at, and the witch is gone as well. And she offers bounty to find Sheepstealer and to find Aemon, which, with what money? She's offering bounties with like dust, but she specifically says like, "Hey, somebody finds me one of these, I'll give them a Harrenhal. What the hell do I care? It's burnt up crisp anyway. Who wants Harrenhal at this point anyway? It's been burned to holy hell. Besides the witch, like, why would anybody want this thing?" So Rhaenyra goes to check in with Alicent to be like, "Hey, you should know where this gold is. Where is it at?" And Alicent's like, "They didn't trust me either. Like, they thought I was on the outside. So I have no idea where any of this gold is either. So please don't come at me the way that you are." Like, Rhaenyra is coming in hot, blaming anything that has happened that has gone wrong in this sort of takeover on Alicent. Alicent's like, "I did the thing that I was supposed to do. I was supposed to make sure Aemon wasn't here and that you could just get in through the door. Why are you coming at me?" And so Rhaenyra tells her, like, "Well, until I can find Aemon and until I can find Aegon, I'm going to need to keep you two here because I need to make sure that there are no other threats to my reign before I let you guys go. I will keep you well fed, well clothed. We'll give you a servant. Like, we'll give you everything. We'll give you the nines, but I can't let you leave here." And I was just like, "What? What? That wasn't the deal. Like, what are we doing here?" And Rhaenyra, understandably, is quite concerned that Aegon is still out there loose. Like, that's a loose thread that she was planning to have taken care of before she came here. Allison gives the idea, like, "Hey, look, nobody knows what Aegon looks like right now. Like, he was burned to a crisp, and his face is severely disfigured. No one's going to recognize him, and his dragon's dead. You can technically say that he died, and no one would be the wiser." Rhaenyra's like, "Okay." And Allison follows up, like, "Look, if Lars ever does bring Aegon back up, you can literally just say that he's an imposter, and no one's going to be the wiser." Sure. Seems messy, but okay. I forget the exact line, but it's kind of cold because Allison says to the effect, like, "So I'm supposed to just stand here and wait until you uh capture and kill my son? Like, what?" And Rhaenyra's just like, "I could never imagine, considering she's lost all of her kids. Don't come at me and talk about that. Like, what are you doing? Relax." With this new thought, Rhaenyra goes to the High Septon, who's like the religious, basically the highest priest of the land, of the Red Keep anyway. Asks, like, "Hey, look, when can I get this coronation? Like, when can you indoctor me and bring me in?" And he's like, "Not really anytime soon. Like, you might be sitting on the throne, but Aegon's still alive out there." And she brings up the fact that Alicent has told her, "Hey, Aegon is dead," to kind of go with that lie. And he's like, "Do you have proof? Do you have something?" And kind of is checking her, like, "Are you 100% sure this is the road that you want to go down? Because no one has seen Aegon be killed." And in this, you learn quickly that the religious folks don't really take kind to those who have dragons. They think the dragons come from a dark world, and anybody who can ride on a dragon isn't of the faith. And he's like, "Look, I'm not doing what it is that you're asking, and I'm guaranteeing you don't want to have the faith folks turned against you. Like, that ain't a road that you want to go down. So I'm going to advise you real quick to relax, back up, do what it is you need to do, give me some proof, and then we can go about this the correct way. But this ain't happening the way you think it is." So between no money, she's getting the sort of the townsfolk, the poorer people, kind of just asking for requests and asking for things left and right. She's been put on this massive, like, "Oh God, okay, what do we do? What do we do? What do we do? How do I do? Can you help me? Can you help me? Can you help me?" Everyone's sort of taking from her. She hasn't really found her footing in this system yet. The next person to ask for something, so her good old hand Corlys. So she has a dinner with Corlys, and his two illegitimate sons. In this moment, she does not know that. And in this meeting, he said, like, "Look, these are my kids." And she's like, "Oh, it's it's actually kind of funny." She's like, "Oh, I can sort of see I can see the resemblance now that you say it." Well, just because they're the only black folks in this whole damn thing. Yeah, yes, Rhaenyra, very good. Um, but he's asking her in this moment, so, "Can you legitimize my kids? Like, I need you to go ahead and make them. I want to give them my name." Now, in this moment, he has no other heirs. These are all he has left. So he's kind of like, "Can you bring them? Can you bring them on with me?" Um, and she doesn't really answer in that moment. She's kind of like struck, and she sort of tries to change the subject and be like, "Nah, I don't think that's what we're going to do." So we see her go to sleep, get back up. We're like, again, we're watching her in the day of going through all of this, and when she wakes back up, poor girl is struck with a bout of cramps, and her cycle is beginning. So she has to sit on the throne, listening to all these petitioners come up to her while she is sweating, going through it. I was like, "Oh, baby girl, this is." Man, this is a bad day for you. She got rats running around because if you remember, Aegon had all the rat catchers killed. So like rats are just running rampant around this place. And so she learns within all these petitioners of everybody's sort of plight. Like, hey, we don't have any money, we don't have this. And she learns that while she was gone, the noble folks uh hoarded the rest of the goods, the rest of the food, the rest of the money, rest of the supplies, and kept them with them so that the poor folks, the town folks, weren't getting anything. She hears of that and is like, well, we're I think I can do something about that. And maybe I can fix that. So she decides to have a dinner with her noble folks. Her mistress of whispers, kind of like, what would your father do? I don't know if this is it, but Rhaenyra's thinking on her feet. She has a dinner with all the noble folks, and she decides to present them with rats for the meal. She's killing two birds with one stone, killing a lot of those rats and feeding it to the trying to feed it to the noble folks. And in that, she's like, look, right now, while you guys are sitting here, I have my people going into each of your storehouses and your storerooms and taking anything that feels like it's in excess of what it is that you need. Um, you guys don't get to live in lavishness while the poor people get nothing. Like there needs to be a little bit more of a feeding of the poor and helping your surrounding men. And so we're taking that back. So it's her sort of gesture to the townsfolk, like, hey, I'm going to help you guys out. I'm going to kind of get into the good favor of you, despite the noble people. They're going to have to back me up anyway because I'm the queen. But at least I need to get some of you guys in favor, even though she is partly responsible for the reason why these folks are poor, because she blockaded the ports in the first place. So it's her own doing, but she's kind of getting men on the good favor on the backside. Alicent comes to see Rhaenyra, and in that she is sort of one asking for a request, like, "Hey, can you do me a favor? Can you give me my father's remains and send them, and so they can be buried next to my mother's?" And Rhaenyra's like, "Okay, yeah, I can do that." And then Rhaenyra's sort of like, "Hey, how did you do this? Because this day has been a lot. Like, there's a lot happening. There's a lot of people asking and tugging at my cape, and I just don't. I want to know. You've been here before. What do you suggest?" And Allison's like, well, you're going to have to do a lot of the things that go against the moral code you had before you got on that throne. Like you're going to have to change who you are. And Rhaenyra's like, no, I don't think that's true. My dad didn't have to do it. And Alice is like, your dad lived in a box of his own construct. Like that, that's different. You can't operate like that. Partly because you're a woman, but you can't operate like that. We don't get the chance to operate like that because it's going to bite us in the butt. Like you need to do things a little bit more differently. To second that, Damon doesn't understand why Rhaenyra is just not burning motherfuckers down. Like he's like, I don't get. We got 6 dragons now. We don't have to do these gestures to the town folks in this. We can rule with fear. And Rhaenyra's like, I don't want to rule with fear. Like that's not what I'm about. Now that I'm here, I want to do it the correct way. I want to do everything the way that it needs to be done. And Damon's like, that don't make sense. But I will do what it is that you need me to do. And he sends her off on an errand to go find some gold and go get to the Vale to get some money from them. He also mentions, hey, real quick, you need to kill Darren. Like, I don't care what else we do. If we don't burn up other stuff, Darren needs to die. So the next day, Rhaenyra basically holds what amounts to a turkey drive with Massaria, her mistress of whispers, in the town, sort of getting into good favor with her town folks. It's a way of sort of getting back. Now, this might lead to a bit of a gesture at start, but it ain't really going to go anywhere long term. They will agree, and you'll get a couple of people on her side. But I think it helps to sort of build up that camaraderie. Then things start turning because after she does one good thing for the people, she's coming around. Corlys decides to check her. So it's important to know that in this, Ulf the White, Hugh the Hammer, and Adam of Hull are knighted. Now, Adam was supposed to be knighted, or at least from Corlys' eyes, was supposed to be knighted. Adam of Valerian. That didn't happen. She named him Adam of Hull. And yeah, that comes back to Corlys, and he is not pleased. Now, he comes to check Rhaenyra. It's kind of like, hey, I thought we had a deal. You were going to make them legitimate. Now, he's thinking of it strictly as like, I don't have any other heirs. I need them to be my heirs. Rhaenyra, who I understand where she's coming from, is coming from like, I can't legitimize your kids because there's already a rumor, there's already stuff out there that my kids aren't mine. And if I start going around legitimizing kids that are not of quote unquote honest bloodlines, that's going to look a type of way. That's going to sort of usurp and undermine my queenship. I can't do that on my first day at the job. I'll do it. It's going to happen. It just may not happen right now. And Corliss don't want to hear that, to the point where he starts berating her in front of townspeople and in front of her knight, in front of her guard. It's loud. He calls all of her kids bastards, which is odd because some of them are heirs to him. He's like I, but she's like he refers to Jace like he was a bastard when he was born. He's a bastard when he died. Like he goes off to the point where Rhaenyra is kind of like taken aback because the last time somebody called her kids a bastard, which was I believe his brother, didn't end well for him. So in this moment, Rhaenyra is sort of taken aback and like, okay, keep it up. Now she can't trust her counsel that she had back at Dragon's, but she also clearly can't trust her hand and counsel here. It's all going to hell. So Rhaenyra then grabs Alicent and is like, hey, look, your son's here. Like I've had him here. I can't get anything out of him, but I'm going to send him away. I'm not going to kill him. I'm going to send him away. And Alicent's like, well, let me see him once before I do. So she takes Alicent into the room with Darren, and Alicent looks at him and was like, I hate to be the one to tell you this, Rhaenyra. That ain't my boy. And Rhaenyra is heated. Like Ormond set them up. Ormond played the long gun game. And I don't know if he necessarily expected them to figure it out, because I think he probably expected Rhaenyra to just straight up kill this kid and just him have a little bit more time. But whatever it is, Ormond sent in a decoy, and this poor boy was like a peasant, if you will, and his mother's being held hostage. And so he's doing this whole thing to be just hope preserve his mom's life. Now, one funny note here is that if it's that easy to bleach a person's hair and turn them Targaryen, why didn't Rhaenyra do that to her own kids? Which is why it's funny, I think, and this is probably why they had it read this way. Rhaenyra goes to this kid's hair and kind of looks at the roots and was like, "Oh, damn, that would have been a cold ass idea. I would have done this a long time ago." She then leaves the room, and as she's leaving, she gets word that a dragon keeper is at the gate, and he goes to see the dragon keeper. The dragon keeper lets him know that, hey, Ormond has seized the town of Tumbleton. Now, Tumbleton comes up a little earlier in the episode because Hugh the Hammer's wife has left, because she was supposed to set up a home for each of the knights. She hasn't been able to do that yet. So in that, Hugh's wife has left to Tumbleton to sort of take place there. So she does have somebody in that place that might come back to help her in the long run. But Tumbleton's under siege, and they have the baby dragon there, as well as the one I think that was supposed to be belonging to Darren in the first place. But they captured a young dragon, and Rhaenyra's first thought is like, well, bet, F this, burn it all down. Like that feeling that you sort of, oh, this is the true Rhaenyra right here. Like she wanted to burn these mugs to the crisp. But the dragon keeper was kind of like, well, those are your people. Like these are the people that voted for you. Those are your true people. Like those people believe in you 100%. I don't know if you want to just go up in there and burn everybody down, because you're going to be burning some of your own people. And so Ormond sort of has picked a place that, yeah, he can infiltrate, but he knows he's sort of protected because Rhaenyra would look terrible if she came in hot and just burned this place alive. And so now Rhaenyra has a decision to make, as well as all the other decisions she has to make politically. She now has to decide what to do on the chessboard, and so that is how the episode ends. I love it though, because she has a line like, "Does he know who he's playing with? Like my arm is long," which is another way of saying, if you were to say that in today's, my pimp hand is strong. Quit playing with me. That's what she just said to them. But it's going to be interesting to see Ormond's playing a game. And it's clear that he had been playing this game from the moment he knew that he heard that Rhaenyra took the throne. He put this into play. He has a Darren somewhere around, and what that means is that there are too many seeds that are rightful heirs to the throne. Aegon, Aemon, Darren are all out there, and so she got to quickly whack-a-mole these to get one, the faith on her side, but two, to just sort of quickly legitimize this. Because as much as she's sitting on that throne, as much as she's playing it, it's not legitimate yet. What did you guys think about the third episode of House of the Dragon called Rhaenyra Triumphant? There are a lot of foreshadowing and a lot of missteps that happen in this that I think make this episode, as much as it doesn't have action as some of the other two episodes does, there's enough meat on this episode that is sort of going to gestate and permeate and sort of make the rest of the season flow out. She's making a lot of decisions here. She and Damon are making a lot of decisions here that I think are going to come bite her in the butt. Corlys being one of them. Sort of the treatment of some of the dragon seeds. Like, I think Ulf gets laughed at way too much and probably isn't getting the energy to be believed in, that I think is going to have him not as strong as both Adam and Hugh are to back Rhaenyra up. But what do you guys think about the third episode? We'll leave your thoughts and comments in the comments below. If you haven't already, you can follow us on X at HollywoodADI. You can hit us up on email at HollywoodAlreadyDidIt@gmail.com. We also have a podcast with the same name. That's on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere that plays podcasts. We're there. And like always, I got my ticket. You got yours.